Uh, Coach, if first question, just kind of your thoughts and reaction to Charlize being named all conference for the fourth straight year, LA getting all freshmen, and then Bella getting honorable mention.
Yeah, really thrilled for Charlize. Obviously, um, I just think she's the face of our program, and everybody had to key on her, and everybody had to game plan around her. She affected the game in every conceivable way. It just shows the respect that she has across this league and how much people think of her. So, really proud of her for that, and tells a lot about just again the respect that people have for her to vote her in, having not played the entire season. Not surprised by LA. I mean, I think she's been a dominating player across the board, freshman or not freshman. I think she's one of the best players in the league. Clearly one of the best, uh, you know, freshmen in the league. So I think it would have been a hard stretch to anybody to beat out Juju for freshman of the year. But clearly, I think LA's in the top two or three of that in that category. So, and just the beauty of freshman, players of the year or all freshman team is you get them for 3 more years. So she's got a bright future for us. Bella, I'm, in a million ways, I wish she were all league. I'm not sure she played up to the level of some of those top 15 players, but clearly she is one of the top players in the pack. It just goes to show you the depth of this league and how good the teams are and how good the players are in this league that she's an honorable mention and not a top 15 player. But I do know this that for us to go further and anywhere else this season, we need her to be a top 15 player in the pack for and to lead us in that way. So still a lot to expect and want from her to finish up a senior season and kind of somersault her into her future as a pro.
How much of maybe after the win over Colorado have you emphasized to the team of, this is what you guys are capable of with or without Charlize, and you can look at some of the games from the past few weeks, but that's kind of the barometer, that's the litmus, that's what you guys, and this is kind of what I'm asking, if you're telling the team this is if this is what you believe they can do, and beat a top 15 team on the road, even without Charlize there.
Yeah. Again, you hit it like pop in that film versus some of the others that we've had that we haven't had the same energy or the toughness or the just the consistency over 40 minutes. This was a performance that was a performance that we went toe to toe with a great team on their home court in senior night where the emotion was against us, the setting was against us, and we just managed a 40-minute game, and I'm just, altitude, all the things that are that, and after having a bad game against Utah, not being as consistent as we needed to against Utah, it absolutely shows what we're capable of. But it just requires, to be really, really elite or, play with the top teams in this league. It requires so much emotionally. It requires so much physically. It requires top to bottom on your team, um, mindset that walks into the game that wants to compete at the highest level, that's willing to take some risks or chances in order to make plays. Again, I think the biggest thing that just was very resounding in that game was we were so unbelievably mentally tough, and we responded and managed that game and had huge playmaking players on the floor, playmaking shots, game winning shots and decisions that were being made at the end of that game and in the fourth quarter. So it is exactly the kind of performance we have to duplicate. And anything short of it, quite frankly, we're going home and we won't be long in postseason.
You kind of, I think going into these last four games, I think you said you felt like you had to take two to still really have a shot at the NCAA tournament. You do take two. The bracketologies have you back in on the right side of the bubble. How much within that though do you kind of have to tune that out to the players, saying it doesn't matter, it's all for naught if we go out and lay an egg against Cal on Wednesday, everything you've worked for, it becomes in doubt again. How much you kind of say tune out what everyone else is saying go out there and beat a team who's beaten you twice this year?
Well, I'm going to trust the system and the process that they've said about how to make it into the NCAA tournament. I'm going to trust that what they say is true. We are a top 25 net. Um, we are the seventh team in the pack in the top 25 in net. Um, to me, we are in, given who we've played. Um, so I would just say that we've proven ourselves body of work. Now, injuries obviously play a part in seeding. I think that win over Colorado, showing that without Charlize we could win against a top 25 team. I think that was a big statement game. Um, so in my mind, I just look at that and go, I'd be disappointed in the whole system if we didn't get in, regardless what happens. Then I shut my mind off and I don't even care anything about any of those things. And I just go, we're just not, we don't want things in other people's hands. We want to play well tomorrow. We want to compete better than we've competed against Cal. We want to put a performance on the floor that gives us a chance to win. And the two times, at least the last time we played Cal, we just didn't play well enough. They came to our court and they bullied us, and they outplayed us. I would venture to say at Cal, we very much had that game won and messed around and did enough to not win that game. But this last one that we played, we really got outplayed. So I want us to play well against Cal. They've beaten us twice this year. Um, we still have a lot to play for. Um, and I think this team is very determined. I don't think they're looking at, I don't know how much they look at the brackets and bracketology and all that. I really just think they understand they're here for a reason this week, and they want to put a good performance together starting tomorrow.
And just last thing for you, everything go well with Charlize's surgery? I believe that was this past week.
Yeah, she's in great shape. I think she saw the doc and the PT yesterday, and her quote was, "They said I'm exactly where I need to be." So, a very successful surgery, and she's already in some rehab and doing some things. We're anxious to get back and see her, but not too anxious. We want to stay here as long as we can, and then get back to her, and maybe she'll be jumping by the time we get there. I don't know.